What is up, guys? It is me, your boy Kwis, and we are back with tier list, the final season 3 tier list. Obviously season 4 is fast approaching. We just had 3.3, and I feel like there is a better time than any to get this tier list done. Of course, one thing you may be thinking right now is, whoa, Kwis, what are you on about? There's a tier list right there. It's finished. You're supposed to do one. Yes, what this tier list is the last tier list I did for season 3, as 3.30 had just dropped. This was my final tier list. And what I just want to do is just update from it, because you can kind of see how my thinking has evolved over time, and just the times I've been flat out wrong about certain things. So with that in mind, I feel like the first thing we should do is go over to Mr. Fakumram over here and just move him up here, right? Yeah, I think Fact is one of the I think this is a good display of how it takes a while to really realize how messed up, how good, or how bad a character can be, because I did this tier list relatively soon after Fact was released. I did it relatively soon, and I kind of took in his, he was supposed to have tracking issues, right? Like, characters like him, weak tracking on certain things. So that made me be like, oh yeah, his tracking on this isn't fantastic. So but yeah, then all the other stuff just kind of just blew that out of the water, right? So I was trying to be fair to him, but by far I think it probably looks like this. I think this is 1, 2, 3 right now. I think that's kind of how it looks right now. The reason Leroy was number 1 was because what I found with him is that he made people who weren't good at the game good. People who were bad at the game, bad at Tekken, they could be good with Leroy. He carried people straight up. And if you were playing against the Leroy, your best bet was to play Leroy, or else you were going to be in trouble. Another character that immediately needs to be touched is, we just look at how wrong I was down here, is Eliza, right? So this was before the Eliza buffs, I believe, that I may put Eliza down here. But even then, I was kind of wrong about Eliza as a character. She is a lot stronger than I gave credit for. I think I was wrong about Eliza, but somewhere along the line, I finally understood, oh my god, this character is really strong. And what makes her strong, for the people that are kind of unsure about her, besides the obvious unseeable low wall splat, the dive kick pressure, is she has good Tekken tools anyway. Her standing 4 is a 13 frame high tracking homing counter launcher. She has a very good down forward 1. Her punishment is very good, and down 3 clean hit. I feel like what made Eliza players believe she was so weak is that she was an Akuma. They saw what Akuma was doing off down 3 clean hit, and they're like, why can't we do that? Our character's not as good, but she's still very good. And also, if you take, Akuma out of the equation, she's still very, very strong. I don't believe so. Eliza's a character, I don't believe she's as strong as some people say. I don't think she's top 5. I don't think she's S tier, as some people are saying. Like, yes, Arslan is winning with her, but Arslan's also top 2 players in the world. But I do believe she sits at least A+ tier, and this is gonna have to be doing some readjusting, because there's a lot of characters in A+, and I think, some people are gonna have to be moving maybe up, down, left, right, who knows. Another character, I've been actually, what am I saying next? Oh yeah, even Gigas is okay. I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna ignore what you said there. But yeah, moving on from that, I think another character is also quite low. I think Julia. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make S tier the top 5 in the game, who I believe are genuinely the top 5 in the game. Devil Jin is moved down significantly down for me, and I'll be talking about that a bit later on. But if I had to say a top 5 in Tekken right now, I believe it is obviously Fact, Akuma, Leroy, Paul, and the Geese. And what makes these two obviously so strong is they kill you off a touch. All they need is one touch, right? Geese, the character who I personally don't really struggle against, but when I do come across that good geese, for example, when I played Madara the other day, when I play people like Asim, when I see people like Pecos play, you still understand why this character is, he's just a 2D. He's a 2D that plays Tekken very well as well, right? He basically has all the tools you need. The only thing he really struggles with is punishing pushback things like Paul's Death Fist, which is why people say Paul's a good matchup for Geese, you know? He can't punish Death Fist, you know, but even then, it's still a bit of a toss-up there, right? And then moving on, I think at the top of A+ now, after thinking about it, is Kazuya Mishima. Kazuya Mishima. And why I believe Kazuya over Devil Jin is... The first of all, why I put Devil Jin above Kazuya was this was after 3.3 when they had buffed the tracking on Hell Sweep, and it was a nightmare to play against. And I believed what pushed Devil Jin above Kazuya was Devil Jin doesn't need his Mishima tools. Devil Jin's a very well-rounded character that can play without his Mishima tools. So when you buff his Mishima tools, you just make him that much crazier. I think when they nerfed it, it was kind of like, okay, that kind of takes something away from Devil Jin more, because Kazuya, I believe Kazuya has a way more potent 50-50 vortex than Devil Jin does, right? Devil Jin doesn't really have that mid in his wave dash, in his mix up, whatever. Kazuya has, you know, his forward 3, and obviously his Hell Sweep is the one. Like, I believe I'm more terrified of Kazuya Hell Sweep than Devil Jin Hell Sweep, because it's Hell Sweep into the Yoki and it's like, oh my god, the Devil Jin is like, it's a little bit of combo damage, maybe get the wall, maybe, you know, some wall carry, you know, but that's just personal opinion. At the end of the day, that's what tier lists are, personal opinion. I'm more terrified of a Kazuya 50-50 vortex than a Devil Jin 50-50 vortex. And one thing about my tier list to always take into note is my tier list has always gone off the basis that the characters are being played at their optimal level, and, you know, you don't really take execution into the equation, or, you know, stuff like that into equation. So with Kazuya, he's fairly easy to play against. You can do your sidewalk left, sidestep left, you know, get around most of his stuff. Why he is that high is because in my head, it's a Kazuya that is aware of that weakness and he's playing around it. You know, he's wave dash realigning. He's doing everything he can to play around that and keep you in check, right? So it's not just, you know, you have to take into account the character being played at their best, which is why I see Brian be downplayed quite a bit on tier lists. And they're like, yo, Jim Goku, thanks for the follow. We'll have a discussion, because I'm thinking about that now. We'll have a discussion about Kaz and Steve. But yeah, it's like why a lot of people downplay Brian is because, like, oh, he's hard, he's difficult to play. But with Brian, it's like, if you're being played at the optimal level, it's terrifying, right? You don't want to wake up. 14 frame launcher, like, you know, you have to take these things out of the equation when you make it up. But now why I think Steve and Kaz, I see, now I'm teetering now you guys have made me doubt myself. Like, in my head and what I've said for ages, I believe Steve is the best Tekken character. Steve basically outmatches most other characters when it does come to Tekken. And if you're talking about matchups, I think Steve has less worse matchups. And Steve also busts Kaz in the matchup. I think that's something to take into account. So yeah, I think we'll leave Steve there actually. But I still do believe Kaz is stronger than Devil Jin. If you don't move Eliza, I'm gonna puke. Eliza moves down slightly, but she's A+. She'll move down slightly. Like, I don't think she's better than Jin. I think Jin, there was a point where season 2, Jin was the best character in the game. He did get a few nerfs from then, but he didn't get, like, nerfed to the point that, you know, he's not still very strong, right? And, like, the more I look at Devil Jin, I genuinely believe Jin might be stronger than Devil Jin at this point in the game. Jin still has everything you need in a character. But so does Devil Jin, right? They both have everything, but I think Jin is just slightly safer. Like, if you want to do your mid launcher, your fast mid launcher with Jin, you do hop kick. If you want to do what's your fast mid launcher with Devil Jin? Sidestep 2, right? Jin even has a third game. Devil Jin has a third game too, though. Devil Jin also has a third game. I think for now I'm gonna leave Devil Jin here, but this is kind of my opinion here. Also Julia needs to be moved up quite a bit. Julia is a messed up character. Julia is very strong. I knew she was, but over time I've realized that this character is disgusting. Like I think Julia stands at least here. I think Julia's top 10. Julia's definitely top 10. A lot of people are saying top 5. Right? Brian better than Drag? I agree. Like if we look here, what does our top 10 say? We'll start there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't believe Eliza's top 10. I don't believe Eliza's top 10. I think she's good, but not top 10. I think if you swap, I think these three are fighting. I think these three are fighting, but I don't see Eliza top 10. I can see Alyssa top 10. And I can also see Zafina top 10. But I'd put Devil Jin over Eliza, I think, from there. I think that's how I'd kind of organize this here. For now anyway. Zafina, because Zafina has the best movement in the game. She crushes like nobody's business. In the tournament the other day, Palak went under one of my ground hitting mids. There's I don't know what to say, right? Like you have to be so ready to play against Zafina and know what you're doing, right? And yeah, I agree with Ryan. These are hard characters to rate. These are very hard characters to rate. Her down for 1 is also one of the best in the game, right? With his hitbox, I think it's crazy. I'll get to Hwaring in a second. Guys. I'll be making some changes. I'll get to Hwaring. I know you guys want me to talk about Hwaring, so you guys can say he's downplaying again. It's like you guys just don't know the fucking character, right? Now, I think this I'm kind of fine with right now. I think Kazumi's an interesting one because she's still very strong, still has a very basic game plan. But I think, as Arslan said, he finds that Zafina's a better Kazumi. You know, same movement based game plan, but you also have the cheese factor that Kazumi doesn't really have. And Zafina has some of the best lows in the game. Law is worse than... Oh, you know what? This doesn't take into account the changes I made at the end of the tier list. That's right. I put Shaheen higher than Law. I remember putting Shaheen and Kazumi higher than Law because we had a debate about this. We came to the conclusion that Shaheen is the better Law, right? His full crouch game is kind of better. He's safer than Law. Law does have the better down 4-2 and also the 14 frame long range with punishment. However, Shaheen is just way more well-rounded. Law is better than Kazumi. I don't think Law's better than Kazumi. I don't think so. Nee said Shaheen was top 5. Shaheen does not compare to these characters. I think Kazumi's better than Law as well. Is Brian better than Law? I think Law's just moving down and down and down. And the thing about A+, is A+, these are all characters that are, if you pick them in tournament, you're going to be okay, right? You're not going to have any issues. You're going to be having a grand old time as long as you know what you're doing with your character, you know? Like, I think every character in the game, Law is so hard for me. I feel like Dinosaur, when I say Law isn't that good, I feel like Dinosaur. I think every character in the game is somewhat viable, right? They are somewhat viable. However, the higher you are in the tier list is just how easy it's going to be for you to get wins. You know what I mean? But I think that's A+ for now. I feel like Marduk's very low, to be honest, because Marduk does have faults, but the absolute robbery that he is able to put on you is crazy. You know, all it takes is one throw into some Oki and you're gonna be having a bad time, right? He can't move. You might be right there, but he's honest character. I'm moving him above King just for that. He doesn't deserve movement. Imagine a Marduk with movement. I think this is A+ for now. This is A+ for now. We can revisit, but this is A+ for now. Now we go down to A. I think someone I overrated quite a bit when he got his buffs was Claudio. I think Claudio is still a strong character, but not as strong as I initially believed. Like, I'm looking at some of the characters that are below him, and I think I'd put him around here now. I really don't see Claudio as, like, he's a good character, don't get me wrong, but he still doesn't have lows. Like, making a comeback with Claudio is kind of is his biggest problem right now. You know, if you just kind of get a life lead away on Claudio, it becomes harder and harder for him to scratch back. Like, yes, he has sidestep 4, very, very, very good. But other than that, what does he really have going for him? You know, yeah, he doesn't have a normal down forward. He does have back 3 to replace his down forward 1. But it's still, you know, he does fall behind, I think, some of the characters here. A wall game from hell. He does have a wall game from hell. He does have a wall game from hell. However, if you just stay away from the wall, you know, just don't get to the wall. Like, what are you doing? Why are you getting your back to the wall, idiot? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, he has a wall game from hell. Obviously one of the best hot kicks. Running 2. His approach tools are very nice. I think Heihachi is kind of fine where he is. Heihachi could potentially go up to A+. But I think he's fine where he is at the top of A. The old man still does have his faults here and there. You know, obviously his lack of a really good while standing launch, you know, like a really good while standing launch. Like, obviously he has while standing 3 now, and he has his card catch electric, but it's still not actually what am I talking about? While standing 3 does great damage, doesn't it? That combo does great damage. Why is Joker gone quiet? While standing 3, that combo does great damage, doesn't it? What am I talking about? I'm moving here actually here, you know, fuck it. Asaka, very fast. Very, very, very fast. Strong character. No, Asaka has every panic move that you want, right? She lacks some conventional strengths. You know, her 10 frame punish, she has the worst jab in the game. But she then has a very, very strong 12 frame punish, and you know, she has other things going for her. That's very nice. She does a lot of damage. Her rage drive is very, very good for plus frame mix up, and spike. Do not stay down. Do not stay down against Asaka. Very strong. Has most of the tools you need. Good lows. Good. One of the best, you know, 50/50s in your face, right? You know, the art blast or the down 1+2. Very, very strong. And now we have Barang, who this is a character I've begun hating to talk about Hwarang and hearing people talk about Hwarang, because a lot of people just don't know what they're talking about when it comes to this character, right? They just don't. As I take a sip, right? Like, for example, if you guys saw, I think it was King J's tier list, where he said, he first said Hwarang is good. Have you not seen that K-Wiss has been banging people up recently? K-Wiss won that tournament offline. Speed Kicks won that tournament the other day. And then when he like actually talked about the strength of Hwarang, he was like, oh, Hwarang has everything. He has good throw game, Oki off his throws, and then that's all that he said. Like, yes, Hwarang has some stuff that needs to be toned down. For example, backlash. I think you need to nerf its active frame so you can duck it and get a better punish on it. The 2 throw, the guaranteed Oki, the guaranteed back turn 4 needs to go. I liked the Oki beforehand. You had to think, you had to use your brain, you had to actually do something. But now it's just you mash 4. If you stay down into it, like, that's stupid, right? But the character has a lot of faults going for him. His tracking is not very good. His punishment is bad, but I don't think he should have good punishment, right? I'm not saying give Hwarang, like, if a character like Hwarang had good punishment, that'd be stupid. If Hwarang had like a 12 frame knockdown into Oki, that's stupid, right? It's like, I'm just saying these are his weaknesses, because a lot of people don't know his weaknesses. His tracking is bad. Learn how to move around him, learn when to interrupt, and you'll be golden, right? IMOP made a video on how to deal with Hwarang. He is a good character. Do not get me wrong. You know what? I'm gonna say it. The only reason K-Wiss are against the law is winning anything and beating people is Hwarang. Guy thinks he's good now, but where was he during tag 2? He hardly made out pulls. Play me, I'll show you what a real Tekken player is. Oh, for fuck's sake! Here comes the copy pasta. Here comes the copy pasta. But yeah, no. The only reason I have to defend this character is because too many people just overrate him because they don't know how to play against him. That's kind of it, right? Barang is good. He's just not as good as you think he is once you learn the matchup. That's it. But I think he stands here. I think he stands solidly here. I think the only character above him you could maybe say is better than is Asaka. You could probably put him here. But I just think Asaka's safety and her very, very strong panic moves. She has great crushing. I don't think I don't see any of these characters being better, Hwarang being better than them. That's it. Master Raven, strong character, good damage. Standing punishment isn't the best. It's not the best. While standing, very good. She has some silly things that she has going for her. A character I still don't fully understand, which is why I have trouble sort of talking about her in depth. Hitbox inconsistency. That's the thing with a lot of characters though, hitbox inconsistency. Other than that, that's fine. I think a lot of these characters are kind of fine where they are. I think Lee could stand to move up quite a bit. I think Lee kind of sits around here, honestly. I think Lee is better than Leo. I think Lee could fight. Lee could fight with Josie. Claudio is high still. Because I'll move. I think Claudio can sit here. I think behind Leo or behind Bob. I have trouble saying Bob or Leo are stronger. I don't know why. Lee should be top 4. I know he should be top 4. I know he should. Heihachi, I only put Heihachi in A+ because you disappeared, Joker, and I knew it'd piss you off. But yeah, I think most of these characters stand fine where they are now. I think most of them. Ganri. This guy here, right? So his placement in my original tier list was what it was because I didn't know shit about the character and I had to get opinions from other people, right? From the time he had literally basically just come out, right? He had basically just come out. I didn't really know the character. But as time has gone on and as time has gone by and I've seen this character, the things he's able to do and played against this character, I'm like, this character's stupid. This guy's a dumb character, right? I don't think he cracks it into A+, but I think he sits at the higher end of A. I think I'd put Josie above him still, but I think this guy could. He should never have been down here. I think everyone else is kind of sitting fine around here. I think this was fine from where I left it. And now we go down to the end of the tier list. Velocity, thank you for the follow. I don't really believe Armor King's bottom 5, by the way. I only put Armor King in Help Me because it's a bit of a meme, right? But I do believe Eddie is bottom 5. I think Armor King truly sits probably at around like here or something, or like here. Why is Feng in B? So when I originally made this, I see Feng as, I think I was kind of wrong about Feng. I do think Feng kind of sits here, right? I think Feng does sit here. I still don't believe Feng is very good. I think Feng has, I really don't rate Feng. I don't. I think his approach tools are very whack. I think his tracking is whack. But I think he does have good things going for him. I do think he's decent. I don't think he's way better than Miguel. I don't see that. I think Miguel's still quite a good character. I think Miguel does have his holes 100%, but I think he's still quite a good character. Like these A characters, we'll put Heihachi back down, by the way. A characters are good, but they have holes. Do you think Anna can be A? No. Anna's garbage. Yes, the thing about Anna is like, yes, she has good damage and a very potent 50-50. The problem is her punishment's whack. Her tracking's awful, so you can get around a lot of what she does. what's her most important low? Is like down forward 4? Is that the low? The launch punishable low? Like she she doesn't have much going for her, to be honest. She's not a good character. Obviously Lily sits where she is because she has a lot of issues. Obviously her tracking down for what she has the worst down for 1 in the game. She has by far the worst down for 1 in the game. And obviously with down for 1 being such an important checking tool, you can't have that be trash. I think things kind of sit right here, right? And I'm now open for debate. But Gigas in top tier. Gigas is just delete him from the game, to be honest. Jack is better than Claudia. Why does Risky why do you keep trying to get Claudia moved down on the list? What's my opinion on Ling? I don't think Ling is good. I think Ling survives off the unfamiliar situations, right? So Ling's Oki is very strong. She has very good tech traps. Like I think a Ling player with very, very strong tech traps and great knowledge is scary to go against. But I just think the character herself isn't that good. I feel bad for Jack. Everyone just overtook. Kind of, yeah. Jack was a character that kind of just stayed where he was, and while everyone just started to move up and up and up and up, right? Last should be bottom 5. I don't think. Honestly, actually, Cat's not this bad. Cat is bad, but not this bad. I think we'll swap those. I think Cat is bad, but not that bad. What do you think about Noctis? I think Noctis is fine. Not a fantastic character by any means, but he's serviceable. You can definitely play him. You know, he has very strong like good moves, like, you know, stuff like sidestep 2. He has a very good down for 1 as well. Obviously he has his emo man. His lows are quite nice. Full crouch down for 2, and he has the full crouch mix up now. Down 2 was a very good low poke that they added to him in they made it safer in season 3, so it was a good low poke to have. I remember Kane and Trench talking about Noctis when he first got his buff and be like, yeah, I'm really happy with the Noctis buffs, you know? They made him a character. They actually made him a character. He is a character this season. You see where Geese is? I think Julia should be right next to him. I don't want to put Julia above Steve. I think I could put Julia above Kaz though. I think Julia can go above Kaz. But I don't see Julia above Steve, no. Jin and Devil Jin over Kaz. I can see Jin going above Kaz, but I don't see Devil Jin. I think Kaz is strong, the strongest machine one. Now this is what I can see. I can see Jin going there. To me, Kaz is still top 10. What about Zafina over Steve? I think Steve is still a better Tekken character. I don't know why suddenly Jin players have started to... Have you guys seen recently? A lot of Jin players are saying Jin needs help and stuff. Like Jin is bad and Jin needs buffs and shit. Have you guys been seeing that shit? One of the most complete characters in the game. I've seen that recently. I think that's crazy. Saying he needs his down back 4 back? What the fuck? Now, one thing I'll say about a quick thing about tier list is tier lists obviously very hard to organize. Tier lists at the end of the day really come down to opinion and what you value as strong, right? It's not so much, you know, this is like there are some objectively strong characters in this game. The S tier characters are objectively strong. The A plus characters, Genghis and I'll fight you. The A plus characters are objectively strong. But as you get to A tier and below, at least for me, a lot of it comes down to what you value, I think. Now, I could see someone putting Leo a lot higher than I put Leo. I can see someone putting Master Raven higher. And also a lot of it comes down to experience, right? Someone who plays against a strong Master Raven player all the time, or plays against a strong Gamryu all the time, will obviously be like, yeah, this character's strong and I know why, right? But yeah, this is off doesn't it also depend on playstyle to some degree? Do you mean in terms of like how you could, so you'd suffer against certain characters because of a certain matchup? Sorry, because of the way the character is played, right? Why pick Heihachi when you have Kaz, Doujin, and Jin in the game? Anyway, Heihachi has no lows, but he has some of the most ridiculous mids in the game. Heihachi's down for 1 is low-key busted. His forward 3, crazy. Like Heihachi is, see, look, did you guys see Heihachi float across the screen there? That was terrifying. I felt his mids hitting me as little chibi Heihachi was going across the screen. How's it going, Kane? Kane does not belong at the top of course a Heihachi player is telling me this. Buff Heihachi. Okay. Like, the thing is, like, characters that are next to each other could obviously be swapped, right? Like, it's not like this is definitively these are the best characters, right? They can obviously be swapped. Cat does need buffs, to be honest. Fac was nerfed seriously yesterday. The thing is, Fac still has some weird interactions, right? Fac's hurt box isn't completely fixed. It's not completely fixed. There are still some things that are going wrong with him. He can still, like I said earlier, he can still step Barang. He can still step Barang's hell sweep after down 3-4 on hit, which, like, there are still some weird interactions going on with him, right? There's still some weird things going on. He's not number 1 anymore. I think he sits like here or here now. I think he sits here or here, because he still have his standing 3 and his down forward 1. He still has the huge power lows. He's still busted. Swap Raven with drag. I wouldn't swap them. I could move Raven up to A+, but I don't feel like drag should be moved out of A+. Akuma can't TOD US. He's not top tier anymore. Okay. Raven's defo A+. I mean, now that I look at it, it is weird seeing like Raven like below. I think like King and Marduk. I think I'd put Raven here now, to be honest. I think I'd put her here. Like Raven, that's what Nuna just said. Raven is weird. Like, she's hard to rate. It's very hard to rate. That's about tier lists. They're hard to make, hard to rate, hard to talk about, hard to do anything with, really. But honestly, the only reason Yoshi is here is because someone said, I think he sits here. It's Carl's, thanks to follow. I originally had Yoshi on like his own tier because it's just so, he's unbelievably hard to rate. I think this is where I stand. Thoughts of Akuma's airborne hurtbox being extended for season 4 when more consistent to on reaction. Either that or give characters consistent anti-airs, right? Either make it easier to hit him or give us the things to hit him. Swap Anna with Nina? Never. 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 You could never ever convince me that Anna is a better character than Nina. I do agree Nina needs help. Nina has a lot of hurtbox problems, but you will never get me to say that Anna's better than Nina. You will never get me to say that. Nina can definitely go down, but I do not believe Anna is better. I don't believe Anna is better. Nina should be where Eddie is. Don't get me wrong, I agree. Nina probably has the most hitbox issues in the game. I think she has the most hitbox issues in the game. So I agree she needs help. What makes you say Hey is better than Lee? Because Heihachi's better than Lee. And he doesn't deserve buffs. Fuck you, Joker. Fuck you, Heihachi. That's why. I'm disappointed. Goodbye. Lee. Because I think Lee actually goes here, to be honest. King over Raven. See, the thing with that is that's the thing. I can see King going above Raven. I think to us, yeah, I'm gonna put them both actually because I see Marduk is better than Raven as well. Actually, Marduk sits nice right there, you know. Marduk sits nice right there, you know. I'm leaving Marduk there. That's the thing with tier lists. At the end of the day, it's an opinion. Where I see Claudio so far down. I think Claudio, when it came to Claudio I think was the most buffed character from season 2 to 3. from what it looked like anyway, he had some crazy buffs from season 2 to 3. And then on paper, you're like, whoa, look at these buffs. But then over time, I kind of just came to realize, oh, it's still kind of the same Claudio. Season 2 had the longest of the changes. Wasn't that just because of all the Starburst things? They had to say he can now do this outside of Starburst, right? All right, yeah, Nina above Jack. I can see that. 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 That's the thing. It's like a lot of these people just can be moved, right? They can just be moved next to each other. Where do you think S2 Cat would have placed? Season 2 Cat was probably like here or something, I think. Maybe around here. Jack is A+ tier. Anakin proves it. This is a shit that I'm gonna be honest right now. That shit gets on my nerves when people are like, this character, this person is proving this character's this tier. I hate that shit. Could it not just be that Anakin is one of the best players in America, if not the world? Therefore, whoever he picks is going to look very good. Could it not be that? Exactly. Dottering proved that Gigas is S+ by winning that tournament. Jesus Christ.
Don't question it. It's keep going.
That's right. Thank you for follow. Lily should be lower. I do agree, to be honest. I do agree. I don't see her as worse than Chloe, but I can see her here 100%. Calaxily is crazy. That's because Calax's good at the game. Like, someone being good with a character does not mean that character is good. Oh, no, that character is very strong, right? Because I think most characters are viable, but like Kalak doing very well with Lily just proves that Kalak is good at the game. With Yoshi, right? When they're like, blah, 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 this character is good. Gigas is good. You want to know, no one does that. But when people are like, I don't know. For example, they're saying Anakin is good. Jack is good. Anakin proves it. Why does no one do that with Yoshi, right? Why is no one right? Well, Yoshi's good. Kane does so well. Kane's top 5 in Europe. Is that the character or the player? Huh. If someone wins with AK, people are going to say he's been top tier all along. Even JDCR didn't make him work. Yoshi has 8 nostrils. Put him in S+? No. Yeah, I think this is it. I think this is it. I think this is it. At the end of the day, it's an opinion. I sort of agree. When I look at Lars and Lily, I actually honestly see Lars. I honestly see Lars as better than Lily, to be honest. It's tough, right? Because I think this just goes to show how complex the game Tekken is. That there's never really one right opinion at the end of the day. I think this is an opinion. This is not opinion right here. These guys top 5, that's not opinion. But I think the moment you get past here, people are just like, yeah, but this guy can do this, and this is this, and this is this, and this is this, right? So it all comes down to what you value as strong. But I do believe that A+ is when S is the characters that like they just say fuck you, we're playing my game now. A+ are also the solid characters that have few holes. You get more holes at A, but still strong characters. B, the holes are getting bigger at bigger, and so on and so forth. You guys know how the rest goes, and I think that's going to be all from me on this one. I don't think I have any changes I desperately want to make. So on that note, I think we're done here. This is the final tier list. Read it and don't weep. I'm not saying more holes will equal a worse character. I'm just saying it's easier to win with them, right? It's easier to win if they don't have that kind of weakness holding them down, right? And they have much more pronounced strengths. And the characters in the A+ are good at what they do. So the characters in A+ are just very good at what they do. Like I said, they do have a few holes, but they're still very good at what they do. Like saying Master Raven doesn't have holes is like, that's a silly thing to say. She has holes. And before YouTube comment asking why you put Lyra so after being nerfed, I really do want to just do like a deep dive on Lyra and be like, this is why all of you guys are wrong about Leroy. Lei higher than Ling. Lei, I think Lei, so with Lei, I actually talked to Frog about this, and Frog is one of the best Leis in Europe. if not like the best. And he said he believes a lot of people just don't know how strong Lei really is. I cannot remember why. If I could, I'd say it now. I might go back and find it if I can. But Lei, a lot of people are sleeping on Lei in his opinion. He believes this is where Lei should be about, right? I have to go off him mainly because my knowledge on Lei is slightly lacking. With that in mind, as I've tried to end this video like 5 times now, this will be the time it finally ends. Thank you for checking this out. Leave your opinions in the comment section down below. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And you can tell me how much you hate me in the comment section down below. And I'll catch you all in the next video.